Welcome to Abilene High School Gymnasium for the duel between Abilene and Clay Center. We're starting the JV matches off right away, where we have at 160 pounds Heron from Clay Center against Beals from Abilene. Heron gets 2 for the takedown there. Just 15 seconds into the period. Looking for control. Beals is hooking an arm, looking like he's wanting to do a Heron doing a nice job of controlling on top. We'll have varsity matches later. We have 2 junior varsity matches to begin with. There will be senior recognition tonight also, as this is the final home duel of the year for the Abilene Cowboys. Heron doing a nice job of controlling the arm of Beals with the chicken wing, we would call that. Getting that far wrist is an important thing with the chicken wing if you want to turn him. So you can see he's getting that far wrist tucked under, walking around the head. Cover the scoring real quick. As you saw, Heron got a takedown earlier. That's good for 2 points in the match scoring. There is a difference between match scoring and team scoring. So in the match, the takedown's worth 2. An escape, where the wrestler on the bottom escapes to the neutral position, that is worth 1 point. A reverse, where the wrestler on the bottom actually changes positions basically and takes the control position, that's worth 2 points. You also have near fall, if you hold a wrestler with his back exposed to the mat for a 2 count, basically 2 seconds to 4 seconds, that's worth 2 points. If you can hold him there for 5 counts or 5 seconds, that's worth 3 points. As we in the first period, with Heron from Clay Center leading 2-0. Once again, we're junior varsity action here at Abilene, 160 pounds. Heron takes bottom position, which we call the referee's position. He has to remain still until Beals takes the top position and they start action. Heron quickly to his feet. Beals does a nice job bringing him back to the mat. I was covering the scoring. There are also other ways of scoring. You know, there's penalty points. Like the top wrestler cannot lock his hands or even really touch his hands together unless it's a pinning combination or the wrestler is entirely on his feet. As Heron is working his way for a reversal, and he does get it. Reversal, good for 2 points there. So we have 1:10 left here in the second period. So Heron from Clay Center takes a 4-0 lead. Team scoring wise, how the team earns points if a wrestler wins by what we call a regular decision, which is 1 to 7 points, that earns 3 points for the team. If a wrestler wins by a score of a difference of 8 to 14 points, that is worth 14 points. And if a wrestler gets ahead by 15 points or more, the match is over and it's called a technical fall at that point. That is worth 5 team points. And if a wrestler gets a traditional pin, a fall, that is worth 6 team points. So obviously in in most duels, you work for that fall, getting those team points. Aaron working hard here to get a turn. Like he's trying to get a tilt just at the buzzer. So no points there, no back points there, we would say. At the end of the second period here, it's 4-0. Heron from Clay Center leading Beals from Abilene. It's like Beals will take the neutral position. So the first period, they start on their feet. The second period, one wrestler has a choice. He can choose to defer for the third, his choice to the third period. He can choose both up, which is neutral. He can choose top or bottom. And then the next period, the other wrestler has his choices. So Beals obviously looking to get a takedown and hopefully a takedown to back, but that doesn't work out here as Heron gets a takedown to take a 6-0 lead now with 1:25 left in the third period. JV action, this is great for the kids. Usually it's the younger kids, getting them some good experience here. Building the team for the future. Oh, and looks like looks like we're gonna, yeah, it's a penalty point. When you have your chicken wings in, you have to keep it straight across. You can't take it up and put excessive pressure on the wrestler. So the referee deemed that there was excessive pressure or the potential for it. So that gave 1 point to Beals from Abilene to make it 6-1. It's one of those penalty points I mentioned earlier. So 40 seconds left here in the third period. Heron from Clay Center leading 6-1. Working a power half is what we called what he just gave up. Later on, we will be bringing you the varsity matches. Expect a very good duel as Clay Center actually has 3 of their top wrestlers back today. Grady Ware, Gabe Ware, and then Rickley. 3 of their better wrestlers are back today, so that's going to, I guess, make the duel very competitive, I expect. As this match ends, Heron from Clay Center wins the match 6-1 over Beals from Abilene. Up next, at 170 pounds, we'll have Legal from Clay Center versus Dylan Holt from Abilene. Legal goes in on a shot. Holt counters. Legal counters back and puts Holt right on his back. Holt doing a good job fighting back to his stomach. We get 2 points for the takedown there, Legal does, and an additional 2 points for near fall. So he held him for at least a 2 count there to get those 2 near fall points. Has a chicken wing in, working to get it. La loses that. Holt fighting that off. It's like Legal may be working for a cradle here. And he does get it. He has a few counts. Looking for the pin, and he does secure the pin. So Legal from Clay Center wins in 59 seconds by a pin over Dylan Holt from Abilene. So that is the conclusion of the JV matches. Next, we will start with the varsity matches. Okay, and we're ready for the varsity action tonight in the Clay Center Abilene wrestling duel. At 106 pounds, we have Luke Martin, a sophomore from Clay Center, versus Logan McDowell, a junior from Abilene. Logan shoots straight in on a double leg to secure 2 points for the takedown. Logan gives up the escape. Escape makes it 2-1. McDowell shoots in on another takedown. So 4-1, 18 seconds into the match. They'll go back to the center. Logan McDowell, state qualifier last year. Champion this year at Beloit and Phillipsburg. These two did wrestle at the Beloit tournament, with McDowell winning by a fall. Now McDowell looks like he's trying to lock up his cradle. Of course, Martin will do all he can to fight it off, and looks like he does. And Martin gets an escape now to make it 4-2. A minute 10 left in this first period. Logan McDowell in on a takedown to make it 6-2. McDowell leading here.
1 minute.
Logan McDowell from Abilene having a very nice season. As I mentioned, 25-3 on the year. As he lets Martin up again to make it 6-3 now. 33 seconds left in the first period. Another takedown by McDowell makes it 8-3. As they go out of bounds, stops the clock with 16 seconds left here in the first period. We're at 106 pounds in the always anticipated duel between Clay Center and Abilene. Two traditional powers in 4A. Clay Center winning a state championship back in 2010. As the first period ends with Logan McDowell ahead 8-3. Luke Martin will have choice. He defers, so he will have the choice in the third period. Logan McDowell chooses the bottom position. As we start action, we wrestle 3 2-minute periods. If it goes the full match. May not sound like much, but trust me, that's a lot of work in 6 minutes. As Martin from Clay Center gets called for stalling, but what's going on there, once a wrestler gets on his feet, you have to either bring him down or show him, you're doing your best to bring him down. Now, even if you do your best and cannot bring him down, you will still get called for stalling. So there's just a certain period of time you have where you have to return him to the mat. Logan McDowell gets a reversal here to make it 10-3. A minute 17 left in the second period. So Logan ahead by 7. As I mentioned earlier, you get ahead by 8 points, you would get a major decision, but Logan looks like he wants the fall, and he does secure the fall. With a minute 2 left in the second period, Logan McDowell from Abilene
Next match at 113
wins by fall to give Abilene a 6-0 lead to start the duel. Now at 113 pounds, we will have Hunter Kaiser, a 13-9 sophomore from Abilene, wrestling Jake Wynn, who is one of 10 freshmen to be wrestling here for Clay Center tonight. I'm sorry, one of 7 freshmen. And there's 3 sophomores, so there's 10 underclassmen. Jake Wynn went 1-2 at the Silver Lake tournament, a very tough tournament. These two did wrestle earlier this year at the Beloit tournament. Hunter Kaiser was able to win that one by a score of 5-1. Hunter took 5th at that Beloit tournament, and he also took 5th at the Baldwin tournament earlier this year. as they head out of bounds. It's still 0-0. Minute 29 left in this first period. Hunter Kaiser represented Team Kansas this year on a state team that dueled teams from all over the nation. As they head out of bounds again, 1:07 left. And I can tell you that summer wrestling really made a difference in Hunter as he shoots in on a low level, looking for the takedown.
1 minute.
Gets the 2-point takedown. Hunter working now into the Lundy position where he has that arm trapped underneath and pulls it across. Work on the edge of the mat there. Hunter will try to keep him in, as you see him pulling him in. Hunter's in good position, so he wants to stay on the mat. He's got a nice Lundy in, looking for a tilt. Jake Wynn doing a nice job of fighting it off so far. As there's 5 seconds left now in this first period. Hunter Kaiser with a 2-0 lead, and the period will end with Hunter Kaiser ahead 2-0.
Kaiser with 1 takedown at the first period. It's 2-0.
Hunter Kaiser helping out the team this year also. Zane Baugh, who was formerly at 113 pounds, just he kept growing on us, so he couldn't quite hold the weight, so he bumped up to 120 pounds, and Hunter actually bumped up from 106 pounds to 113 for the team. So doing a great job for the team here, been a big asset for the team at 113 pounds. Hunter's able to counter the stand-up, bring Jake Wynn back to the mat. Still 2-0, Hunter Kaiser leading. 1:25 left in this second period. Jake will try to free that lower arm and as they head out of bounds. Hunter Kaiser looks over, gets some encouragement and some instruction from Jake Craigbaum, one of the assistant coaches for Abilene. Many will remember that name. He was a 4-time state champion, Jake Craigbaum was. As Jake Wynn gets an escape to make it 2-1 now with a minute left in the second. Hunter shoots in, looking for the takedown, gets the takedown, has back points, looking for the fall. Hunter needed to settle in there a little bit, got a little anxious and didn't get it secured, but he did get the 2 takedown, and he will get at least 3 back points. The referee has it ready to post, and we'll post it now. So at this point, Hunter Kaiser is leading 7-1. 20 seconds left here in the second period. Nice move by Hunter. Looking for more back points. 12 seconds left here. Four seconds left. Jake Wynn doing a nice job of fighting, and the period ends. Hunter Kaiser will get 3 more near fall points, which makes the score 10-1.
Hunter chooses neutral.
Going into the third period, Hunter Kaiser's choice, he chooses neutral. So they will go takedowns again. Hunter in on a shot, went flat on us. You don't want to go flat. You don't want to lay on your belly as you're shooting that takedown. The coaches, I'm sure, will be giving him instruction on that. But Hunter is doing a nice job for us at Abilene. There's a warning for stalling. So Jake Wynn warned for stalling as they head out of bounds. So minute 12 left here in the third period. Hunter Kaiser at 10-1 at this time. Now, and Jake Wynn does a nice spin, gets behind, makes the score 10-3 with a minute left here in the third period.
1 minute remains in the match.
Yeah, that's important. As I mentioned, the team points earlier, if a wrestler wins by 8 or more, they get an extra point, so that it would make 4 team points. Right now, Hunter Kaiser ahead by 7. So he will do all he can to get at least 1 more point, and Jake Wynn, of course, will do all he can to not. And Hunter Kaiser secures the reversal to go back up by 9, 12-3, 32 seconds left here in the third period. Hunter Kaiser will have to work up from the legs, or he will be called for stalling there. There we go, he gets back up. 19 seconds left. Hunter Kaiser looking for more. Jake Wynn, Clay Center, doing a nice job of fighting that off as they head out of bounds. 11 seconds left here in the third period. Hunter Kaiser from Abilene ahead 12-3. He has enough right now to get 14 points. 7 seconds. 2 seconds. Looks like he will win the match. Hunter Kaiser will by a score of 12-3. So that gets Abilene 4 more team points to make the team score now. Abilene 10, Clay Center 0. Heading into the 120-pound match. And at 120 pounds, we will have Zane Baugh from Abilene, 28-2 junior, versus Marty Robinson, also a junior from Clay Center. Marty took 4th this last weekend at the Silver Lake tournament, had a nice showing there. And Marty's having a nice year as Zane gets the takedown to take a 2-0 lead. Zane Baugh, recently he's taken 1st at the Baldwin tournament and 2nd at Beloit and Phillipsburg, losing both times to a very excellent wrestler from Hoxie, Tristan Porsche. As they head out of bounds, Zane Baugh leading 2-0 with a minute 18 left here in the first period. These two did wrestle at the Beloit tournament, where Zane ended up with 2nd place. Zane was able to win that match by a fall. Zane comes in, ranked 2nd in the state at this weight class, and has taken 3rd at state his freshman year and his sophomore year. So he'll be looking to move up higher on the podium this year, preferably the top of the podium. But as I mentioned, Marty Robinson's having a good year, a really nice year. Clay Center wrestles some really tough competition. So sometimes the records may not be as glowing as other schools may have, but these are some quality wrestlers who have been battle tested. As we have 15 seconds left here in the first period. Robinson was doing a good job of controlling the hands there, keeping Baugh from doing any further work. As the first period ends with Zane Baugh from Abilene ahead 2-0. Robinson will take the bottom position. Zane doing a nice job of controlling on top. And looking for a cradle here. Same ball from Abilene is.
Marty Robinson on both juniors.
Marty will do all he can to fight it off, and he does break the lock, but then Zane gets it right back and turns him. So this is what we call a cradle position. Zane Ball has earned the 3 near fall points and is looking for the pin at this point. Marty Robinson from Clay Center doing a great job of fighting it off. Still a minute left in this second period. And Zane Ball is awarded 3 near fall points to make the score 5-0. Zane Ball leading, 45 seconds left here in this second period. You can see Marty Robinson doing a good job of controlling the hands of Zane Ball. If a wrestler wants to put you in a cradle, that's one of your first lines of defense, is to get those hands, control those hands. And Ball does get his hand free, looking for another cradle. And that cradle starts with a strong cross face, which Zane was executing there. And the second period ends. Zane Ball leading in this match 5-0. We're at 120 pounds here in the Clay Center Abilene NCKL duel. Zane will take the bottom position. We have a caution on Zane Ball. Once you take that bottom position, you cannot move, and there was a little bit of movement by Zane there. You get 2 cautions, and the third time would be a point. As they start and head out of bounds just 5 seconds into the third period. So we often tell wrestlers, don't worry about that first one. You can anticipate a little bit. If you get a caution, it's not a big deal. As Zane looking for a reversal here, and looking for back points. He will get it. Has reversal, looking for the fall. Needs to lower his hips a little bit. He secures the fall. So Zane Ball from Abilene wins at 120 pounds by fall with 1:37 left in the third period.
26 pounds for Clay Center, Tristan Matters. For Abilene,
So that
Jason Smith.
earns Abilene 6 more team points, brings the team score Abilene 16, Clay Center 0. Now here at 126 pounds, we will have for Clay Center Tristan Metters, who is a freshman, one of those 7 freshmen I mentioned, against Kason Smith from Abilene, 26-5 junior, 26 wins on the year against 5 losses. Kason looking for the leg, and they step out of bounds. Nice little bit of action there. Yeah, Tristan Metters took 6th this last weekend at the Silver Lake tournament. That was actually a very impressive tournament at that weight class. The 5 wrestlers ahead of him were all highly ranked in the state, so it was a nice showing by Tristan. As nice takedown by Kason Smith there. So Kason takes a 2-0 lead with just over a minute left here in the first period. Kason getting a little bit loose, and they get out of bounds. No points scored. So the score is still 2-0 for Kason Smith from Abilene. Kayson's really been stepping it up the last few weeks. He's had several nice wins over ranked wrestlers and has actually moved into the rankings himself. Now ranked 6th in the state of Kansas at 126 pounds in 4A. Metters from Clay Center doing a nice job on bottom, fighting off Kayson's attacks. Metters was getting a little bit loose, and Kayson just pushes him away. Gives 1 point to Metters, so it's 2-1. Kayson Smith leading here with 25 seconds left in the first period. Metters in on a shot, but nice counter by Kayson Smith to get 2 more points to take a 4-1 lead. Kayson working to get an arm bar. Metters does a nice job of fighting it off. 5 seconds left here in the first period. And the first period does end with Kayson Smith from Abilene leading 4-1 over Tristan Metters from Clay Center. Metters from Clay Center will take the bottom position. Okay, and Kayson chooses to let him up, which is something new just a couple years ago. The wrestlers can elect to just let the other wrestler up, but he does get an escape point for that. So the score is now Kayson Smith 4, Tristan Metters 2. As Metters in on another shot, Kayson counters it. Kayson does a nice job of being heavy on the head. Works the other kid's head over quite often in his matches. Now they're working for hand control. Nice takedown by Kayson there to take a 6-2 lead. He will let Metters from Clay Center up to make it 6-3. 1:20 left here in the second period. These two will have a very tough regional tournament coming up in Colby in a few weeks. Very possibly could meet again there as they head out of bounds. 1 minute left here in the second period, so we're halfway through this match. Kayson Smith from Abilene leading Tristan Metters from Clay Center 6-3. Kayson looking for another takedown and gets it. Makes it 8-3. 45 seconds left here in the second period at 126 pounds. Kayson getting some instruction again from his coaches. Coaching staff for Abilene includes James Stout, head coach, assisted by Jake Craigbaum, as I mentioned earlier, Nathan Howard, and Tom Taplin. And I can't forget Corey Castile, state champion for Abilene a few years ago. So we head back to the center, 25 seconds left here in the second period. Still 8-3, Kayson Smith from Abilene leading Tristan Metters from Clay Center. As the second period ends. Kayson Smith's choice, he will choose the bottom position starting this third period. Kayson immediately up to his feet. Once again, Tristan Metters will need to bring him down or risk getting called for stalling. And he does bring him down. Kayson right back up as they head out of bounds. 1:42 left here in the third period at 126 pounds. Kayson Smith works for an escape. Takes a 9-3 lead. Now he's ahead by 6. Quick math, if he gets a takedown, that would be an 8-point lead, which would be 14 points. So that's something that always happens at the end of a match. A wrestler is either trying to keep from getting behind by the next level of team points or to fight to get to that next level. So Kaysen will fight to get ahead by 8 or more, and Metters will fight to not let it happen. Kaysen gets the takedown go. No back points, so Kaysen does take an 11-3 lead, ahead by 8 points here with 1:02 left in the third period. Looks like Kaysen will go ahead and let Metters from Clay Center up. So that takes it back to a 7-point lead.
1 minute left in the match.
So what that means is Kaysen needs to take him down to get that extra team point. And of course, Metters needs to get the takedown or not let it happen to keep from giving up that extra team point. Doing a nice job there, Metters was, of holding onto that leg. Referee calls a stalemate. Neither wrestler was able to improve their position. So they go back to their feet with 35 seconds left here in the third period. Kaysen counters again for 2 takedown. Takes a 13-4 lead, back ahead by 9. Kaysen elects to run what we call run around in front, looking for a cement job. Now he's changing over. So 7 seconds left here. He decides to just go behind, play it safe, and ride out the win. So Kaysen Smith at 126 pounds wins for Abilene against Tristan Metters from Clay Center by a score of 13-4. So that's good for 4 team points to make the team score 20-0 for Abilene. Now here we'll be moving to 132 pounds. Have a couple of freshmen here. We have Hunter Mullen from Clay Center. Comes in as a 19-win, 14-loss record against Dawson Whiteley from Abilene. 16 wins, 6 losses for Dawson Whiteley from Abilene. Hunter this last weekend took 6th at the Silver Lake tournament. Dawson Whiteley has been out for a couple weeks. This is his first return to competition. Having a nice season. Took 1st at the Harrington tournament, Dawson Whiteley did. As Dawson Whiteley looking for a takedown, but they step out of bounds. Back to the center. Hunter Mullen in on a quick takedown. Nice shot by Hunter Mullen. People from Abilene may recognize that last name. Hunter Mullen is the son of high school graduate, Abilene high school graduate, I should say, sorry, Dusty Mullen. Dawson Whiteley looking to catch Hunter and does get the escape to make it 2-1. So Hunter Mullen from Clay Center leading the match 2-1 over Dawson Whiteley. 45 seconds left here in the first period. Some scrambling going on there, and Dawson Whiteley gets the takedown to take a 3-2 lead. 35 seconds left here in the first period. Hunter Mullen looking to get his escape, and does, to tie the match up 3-3. Oh, a nice heel pick by Hunter Mullen from Clay Center. Gets 2. So Hunter Mullen now leads 5-3 with 15 seconds left here in the first period. Some nice wrestling and lots of action here by these 2 freshmen. Dawson Whiteley, just before the buzzer, gets the reversal to tie it up 5-5. As Hunter Mullen looks over, gets some instruction from his head coach, Brandon Pagorsh. And Pagorsh is assisted by coaches Craig Rickley, Michael Brownell, and Ben Davis. Hunter Mullen starts out in the bottom position. Now, these two have not wrestled yet this year, so this match is actually key for regional seeding. As Hunter Mullen secures a reverse and is looking for back points. Has a half Nelson in. Dawson Whiteley does a nice job of fighting it off. I probably wouldn't have an arm anymore if somebody did that to me, but Dawson Whiteley is able to fight it off, get back to his stomach. Hunter Mullen getting a nice chicken wing in. 1 minute left here in the second period. Hunter Mullen looking to get a double chicken wing, it looks like. Can't quite see the far arm, but I believe he does have the double chicken wing. He's looking to get his legs free now and get around to the side. There he goes. Hunter getting back points now. I've seen at least a 2 count. Hunter Mullen ahead 7-5 right now. And now 9-5 with the 2 back points. So 24 seconds left here in the second period. Hunter Mullen from Clay Center leading 9-5 over Dawson Whiteley from Abilene. Dawson looking to get the reversal and does. Makes it 9-7. Hunter Mullen leading with 9 seconds left here in the second period. One second left to beat the post, and Whiteley is able to hold on. But going into the third period, Hunter Mullen leads Dawson Whiteley 9-7. Dawson Whiteley from Abilene will be in the bottom position to start the period. Now, typically, when you have 2 fairly even wrestlers like these two appear to be, the bottom position is considered the scoring position. It's typically a lot more common to get a reversal or an escape than it is for the top wrestler to get near fall points. But Hunter Mullen has shown that he can get the near fall points as he's working. Dawson Whiteley does a good job. Hunter was doing a nice job of controlling the arm, so Dawson's able to fight out of it, and Dawson gets the reversal. We're tied at 9, 1:20 left here in the third period. Now what happens here is actually advantage goes back to Hunter Mullen. It is tied, but as I mentioned, 2 evenly matched wrestlers. Typically the bottom position is considered the scoring position. But of course, Dawson will do his best to hold on and get a turn for some near fall points, but Hunter will do all he can to get away or reverse. Oh, and they just step out of bounds. Each wrestler had a supporting part out of bounds. They go back to the center. 1 minute, 6 seconds left here in the third period in a tied match. Great match by these 2 freshmen.
1 minute, still 9-9.
These are 2 freshmen I'm looking forward to watching in the future. I think they both are going to make some noise. Dawson Whiteley looking for a turn, but gets a little loose with it. Hunter Mullen able to get a reversal to take a 2-point lead, leading 11-9 with 39 seconds left here in the third period. Oh, and Dawson Whiteley, incredible reversal. We're tied up at 11, 26 seconds left here in the third period. What an exciting match. 2 freshmen going at it here. Dawson lets his hips drop a little bit again. Hunter Mullen's doing a nice job of keeping that leg so he can't get the hips up. 8 seconds left. 4 seconds left. And regulation ends tied 11 to 11. They will go back to the center. This will be a 1-minute period. First score wins, so typically a takedown at this point. Hunter goes in for another heel pick. Dawson Whiteley does a nice job of fighting that off. This is a tough time for the wrestlers. It's time for stamina to show, and who's in better position, or better, condition, I should say. Oh, and Dawson Whiteley. I couldn't even describe what was going on there. You saw it for yourself. Great match. Two very good wrestlers. Dawson Whiteley from Abilene able to get the takedown with 24 seconds left in the first overtime period. So Dawson Whiteley wins to give Abilene a 23-0 lead. So even though that was overtime, that is still 3 team points. Nice win by Dawson. As I mentioned, that's key for regional seeding also. Now wrestling at 138 pounds, we have from Clay Center, Adam Ebert, one of the 7 freshmen for this young, talented Clay Center team. He'll be wrestling one of Abilene's seniors, Blake Nguano, who comes in with 18 wins and 8 losses. 18 wins, 8 losses there for Blake Nguano.
Adam Ebert is a freshman, and Blake Nguano is a senior.
I might mention, the team score may appear to be a little lopsided at this time. The big guns for Clay Center will be coming up soon. And actually the next match is what I would consider the marquee match of the evening, where we will have Seth Strauss against Grady Ware at 145 pounds. Blake Nguano working to get what we call his Russian, pulling the arm across in front of him and shooting in, trying to keep Adam Ebert in bounds and secure the takedown, and he gets it just on the edge of the mat. So Blake Nguano from Abilene takes a 2-0 lead here. 50 seconds left in the first period. Referee calls time. So Ebert can put his headgear back on. That happens a lot in wrestling. Pesky headgear fall off. And of course, those headgear to protect the ears. Some of you may have seen wrestlers with cauliflower ear. Some wrestlers really like that. It's battle scars. Does a nice job controlling in the top position. So this will be Blake Nguano's last match at home for Abilene. Last time he'll get to wrestle on the beautiful orange mat of the Cowboys. As the first period ends with Blake Nguano leading Adam Ebert from Clay Center by a score of 2-0. At 138 pounds here.
Adam chooses neutral position.
Ebert from Clay Center chooses neutral, both up. Blake Nguano in on a double leg and secures the takedown to take a 4-0 lead. Minute 45 left. Oh, Blake looking for more. Oh, and the referee calls. Oh, calls it for blood. There's definitely some blood on the mat. Yeah, looks like Adam Ebert may have, assuming a bloody nose.
Three near fall.
So out of that, Blake Nguano does get 3 near fall points. to take a 7-0 lead. There's a minute 39 left in the second period. Now with the blood time, in fact, it's actually the back of Adam Ebert's head they'll be working on. With the blood time, what happens there is the wrestler has a total of 5 minutes during a match of what they call blood time. And that time just counts until they get the blood stopped, and then they will need to cover it, and he can continue wrestling.
Want more information on the 435 bond issue? Go to www.abileneschools.org.
As I mentioned earlier, coming up in our next weight class, 145 pounds, what I would consider the marquee match of the evening. We'll have Grady Ware, state qualifier last year from Clay Center, versus Seth Strauss, 18-8 junior from Abilene, who is a two-time state qualifier. Grady Ware from Clay Center is a senior. He is one of the Clay Center wrestlers that have been out with injury and just coming back. Grady Ware, Thomas Rickley, and then Grady's brother Gabe Ware at 160. Our next three wrestlers all returning today for the first time since the Christmas break. Looks like they have Adam Ebert's blood stopped, and now they're covering it up. The Abilene trainer does a nice job for us. And of course the school nurse there helping also. Abilene wrestler Tanner McGivney's mom, Brandy McGivney, down there helping. As I mentioned, both these teams will be at the Colby Regional. Any of these matches will have a bearing on the seeding. That next match I'm talking about, Grady Ware and Seth Strauss, one of those will be key for seeding at that tournament. Both those wrestlers coming in with nice records and credentials, so they are obviously very seedable. Looks like a good portion of Adam Ebert's head will be bandaged up when they're able to get started again. Right now they're in cleanup mode. And I can tell you Abilene will be at Chapman on Thursday night. This coming Thursday night, 2 nights from now. And Abilene also, I might mention, if they're able to hold on tonight and win, they will clinch the league title, at least a tie for the league title. So that's a big thing, I'm sure, an incentive for the wrestlers tonight from Abilene to fight for that. Speaking of the league, Abilene at this time leads the league with a 3-0 record. Marysville's in second with a 3-1 record. Chapman in third with a 2-1 record. Clay Center currently in fourth with a 1-2 record. Walmigo follows them with a 1-3 record, and Concordia is at 0 wins, 3 losses. As we head back out to the mat,
Here we go.
Adam Ebert's all bandaged up, ready to go.
Like we'll release Adam, and it'll be 7-1.
See, Blake elects to let Adam Ebert up to his feet to give 1 point, 7-1. Anguano looking for the takedown and secures it to go up 9-1. Looking for the fall now. Has it locked up pretty tight and does secure the fall. So Blake Anguano wins by fall with a minute 23 left in the second period. Those 6 points earned for the team gives Abilene a lead of 29-0.
Clay Center, Grady Ware. For Abilene, Seth Strauss.
And as I mentioned earlier, we'll have Seth Strauss from Abilene, a junior with an 18-win, 8-loss record, against Grady Ware, 8-3 senior from Clay Center.
Grady Ware is a senior and Seth Strauss is a junior.
Both of these wrestlers have been ranked in the state at one point or another this year. And as I mentioned, both state qualifiers, Grady Ware qualifying for state last year and Seth Strauss last year and the year before that. Seth Strauss in on a nice single leg takedown. This is when the fun starts. Oh, and he does secure the takedown. So Seth Strauss from Abilene takes a 2-0 lead, 1:15 left here in the first period. Referee calls a potentially dangerous situation. They'll head back to the center of the mat. Seth Strauss leading 2-0. Nice explosion by Grady Ware there. Gets up to his feet, but Seth Strauss does a nice job of countering and gets back on top. Working a chicken wing, Seth Strauss is. As they head out of bounds, 48 seconds left here in the first period. As I mentioned, Grady Ware from Clay Center has been out for a few weeks, so this is his first competition in a while. It does take a while to get back into it as he gets an escape there. So Seth Strauss now leading 2-1. 38 seconds left here in the first period at 145 pounds. Grady Ware goes in for a fireman's takedown and fireman's carry takedown. Does not quite get it. Oh, and Seth Strauss from Abilene attacks the heel, looking to get a takedown, but Grady Ware does a nice job of countering. But then, this is some nice wrestling, guys. These are two guys who do not want to give up points. Nice countering there. So 6 seconds left here in the first period. Seth Strauss leads 2-1 over Grady Ware from Clay Center. First period ends. It will be Grady Ware from Clay Center's choice. He will defer. He changes his mind. He will take the bottom position.
Grady's taking the bottom position. 2-1 going in the second period.
Now, when you've been out of wrestling for a few weeks like Grady has, conditioning always comes into question. I'm sure Grady's been working as hard as he can, but nothing replaces getting out there and wrestling. It's a fairly brutal sport. It does push you. 6 minutes, like I mentioned earlier, does not sound like long, but it is a very long time when you're out there. Oh, Grady Ware gets the escape. 1:05 left here in the second period. We're tied at 2.
1 minute in the second period.
Both wrestlers working for a position to get the other off balance or look for an opening to attack. When they're standing up, they'll work for wrist control. You always like to control the wrists of the opponent. You can create openings by doing that. Or you actually try to move the wrestler to a position where you can attack. Ten seconds left here in the second period, still tied at 2. Grady Ware goes in. Seth does a reshot with 2 seconds left. No points. Grady Ware came close. Not quite. So we're going to the third period. Tied 2-2 here at 145 pounds. Nice battle. As I mentioned earlier, bottom position is typically considered the scoring position when you have two good, evenly matched wrestlers like these guys are. So advantage goes over to Seth Strauss at this time. Seth tries a little bit of his funk with the roll. Oh, both wrestlers doing a nice job of scrambling, as I've mentioned, not wanting to give up any points. Still 2-2 here, 1:25 left in the third period at 145 pounds. Nice battle between Seth Strauss from Abilene and Grady Ware from Clay Center. Nice trip by Grady Ware to bring Strauss back to the mat. Just over a minute left now here in the third period. Strauss on another stand-up. Grady Ware brings him back down.
1 minute remains in the third period.
Grady Ware going for, he was going for a tilt, couldn't quite get it. Strauss stands up, looking just to get one at this point. Gets his one, 32 seconds left. Seth Strauss from Abilene leading 3-2. Grady Ware will do all he can to get in there. Strauss attempting to counter the shot by Grady Ware. 18 seconds left as the referee calls a stalemate. They'll go back to the center. Both on their feet. 17 seconds left. Seth Strauss from Abilene leading 3-2. Now at this point, Seth Strauss from Abilene can do what we call a little bit of stalling. He hasn't been called for it yet. You get one warning. He'll run to the center as time expires. So Seth Strauss from Abilene wins the 145-pound match by a score of 3-2. Another nice match.
Next match at 152 pounds.
So those 3 points for Abilene brings the team score. Abilene 32, Clay Center 0. Now for Clay Center we have Thomas Rickley, who is an 11-1 junior against Reuven Hyde, one of Abilene's seniors, who is actually wrestling for an ill Alex Henley, who's our usual 160-pounder out ill. So Kevin Wilson will move up to wrestle 160 for Abilene. Reuven Hyde will take over the 152-pound duties. That's one of the benefits of having some depth on your team is if somebody's ill, you have another good wrestler to come in and take their place. Rickley, a state qualifier for Clay Center 2 years ago. Was out injured last year and a portion of this year. Another one of the Clay Center wrestlers that are back after a period of being out of wrestling due to injury. And Rickley secures the takedown. Nice takedown to take a 2-0 lead. 1 minute left here in the first period.
1 minute.
Thomas Rickley from Clay Center is the son of Craig Rickley, one of the assistant coaches. So I'm sure he gets a little bit of one-on-one attention at home sometimes. Dad Craig is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I can definitely state that. 25 seconds left here in the first period at 152 pounds. Thomas Rickley from Clay Center leading 2-0 over Reuven Hyde from Abilene. Referee calls a stalemate. They'll head back to the center. The last 6 seconds of this period.
Thomas has one
Period
takedown,
ends.
2-0 going into the second period.
Looks like Reuven Hyde will defer. Rickley will take the bottom position. Period starts. Looks like Rickley has some tape on those shoulders. It looks like, I'm assuming that's kinesio tape. If you've watched the Olympics, you've seen some of the Olympians with that. Nice reversal by Thomas Rickley to take a 4-0 lead. Thomas Rickley does a nice job of breaking Reuven Hyde back down. Reuven Hyde fighting back up to his base, we call it, where you're on your hands and knees. As I mentioned, I believe that is kinesio tape on Thomas Rickley, and what that does is it aids, they say it aids blood flow and promotes healing. I'm not sure what his injury was, and that may be an indicator. He sure is looking good here. Thomas Rickley is in control. Ahead 4-0 with 30 seconds left here in the second period. Looking for back points, and he will be getting back points. And Thomas Rickley from Clay Center looking for more. Gets 3 near fall to take a 7-0 lead. 12 seconds left here in the second period. Referee calls time. It looks like maybe we have a contact. Thomas Rickley's contact has fallen out. His dad comes over to take it from him. 9 seconds left here in the second period. Thomas doing a nice job of getting the leg split, as we call it, as the period ends. Reuven Hyde from Abilene's choice. He chooses neutral. Score is 7-0 for Thomas Rickley from Clay Center here at 152 pounds. Rickley gets the takedown to take a 9-0 lead. Minute 40 left here in the third period. Thomas working to get some back points, but Reuven Hyde from Abilene does a nice job getting out of that. Thomas Rickley working what we call a side-by-side and does roll it through. Oh. Yeah, looks like we have a potential, or not a potentially, a illegal hold there. So that will be 1 point for Reuven Hyde, makes it 9-1. Yeah, that's what I thought. The referee just clarifying. Thomas Rickley took Reuven to his back, had the head circled, but when you circle the head, when you have a headlock, you might say, you have to have an arm included in your circle, in your arms. And Thomas did not have that. So it makes the score 9-1, minute left here in the third period. Nice job by Reuven Hyde, nice job. The senior from Abilene fighting out of a tough position there. As I mentioned, Thomas Rickley's been out for a while, but he sure is looking good. He's getting right back at it. He's a natural wrestler. 30 seconds left here in the third period, still 9-1. Thomas Rickley leading. .20 seconds. As I mentioned, Reuben Hyde, a senior for Abilene, so this will also be his last match here in the Abilene gym. As Thomas Rickley working to get a few more points late in the match. 1 second left, and the match ends. Thomas Rickley wins the match 12-1 to bring our team score to Abilene 32, Clay Center 4.
Gabe Ware for Abilene, Kevin Wilson.
Now we have Grady Ware's younger brother, Gabe Ware, from Clay Center, a 15-7 sophomore. He'll be wrestling Kevin Wilson, another sophomore from Abilene, who is 17-13 on the year. As I mentioned earlier, Kevin Wilson typically would be our 152-pounder, but with Alex Henley ill today, he moved up to 160 pounds for Abilene, and Reuben Hyde took over the 152-pound spot. Gabe Ware in on an attack. Nice job. Looks that single. Gabe will try to keep that lifted up and get a trip, and he does get it to get the 2 points. So Gabe Ware takes a 2-0 lead 1 minute into the first period. I can just picture Gabe and Grady maybe have been in that position a few times at home, so I think Gabe knows how to work that single leg. Gabe Ware working a chicken wing here. Kevin Wilson will need to get his hand on the mat, work it forward. As we call time, fire alarms are going off here at the Abilene gym.
Good time to check out the concession stand.
As the Abilene announcer, Bill Christner, promotes the concession stand. He's a great advocate for the Abilene concession stand, Bill Christner is. We'll have a little break here, I'm assuming, as this gets straightened out. Ben Smith, high school principal, comes over.
I've been notified that it's the popcorn machine, so we'll get that shut off and we'll get back to work.
Speaking of the concession stand, we've just been notified that it's the popcorn machine causing the fire alarm to go off, so I'm sure they'll get that shut off and we'll be back in action. As I mentioned, team score right now, Abilene 32, Clay Center 4. Clay Center getting that 4 just in the last match at 152 pounds by a major decision. Thomas Rickley. Currently out on the mat, we have Gabe Ware with a 2-0 lead over Kevin Wilson from Abilene. Two sophomores going at it. I'd have to say Kevin Wilson is one of the most improved wrestlers on the team. Really been stepping it up this year. Enjoyed watching him improve. Really looking forward to his future also. And Gabe Ware obviously has a bright future for the Clay Center wrestling program. Now, while these two will not be battling for better seeding at regionals, as Kevin Wilson, just working for a reversal at the buzzer, does not quite get it. So Gabe Ware still leads 2-0 at the end of the first period. As I mentioned, these two are not battling for seedings, as Kevin Wilson is a 152-pounder. But the win will definitely be nice on their records. Kevin Wilson goes into an initial stand-up. Ware counters with a cradle. Nice, a tight cradle by Gabe Ware. He will get back points, but he will not get awarded the back points until the hold is broken. And of course, he still wants to get the fall. But there we go, now the hold is broken, so he will get the 3 back points to take a 5-0 lead. And Kevin Wilson escapes. 5 for Gabe Ware, 1 for Kevin Wilson, 1:22 left in this second period. Back on their feet. Once again, Kevin Wilson working for what we call his Russian. Working to get control of that arm and get Gabe Ware out of position.
1 minute.
Kevin doing a nice job there of getting some wrist control and working for better position. Gabe Ware breaks that. Back to the center. .24 seconds left here in the second period. Gabe Ware from Clay Center still leading 5-1. We're at 160 pounds in this NCKL league duel between Abilene and Clay Center. Gabe Ware looking to get another takedown, and he does secure it with 3 seconds left in the period. So Gabe Ware from Clay Center takes a 7-1 lead over Kevin Wilson going into the third period.
Gabe Ware leads 7-1.
Kevin Wilson will be in the bottom position. Down by 6 going into this period. Abilene coach is doing a nice job of instructing. As I mentioned, these are both sophomores. There's still a lot of learning to do, and they both have excellent coaching staffs around them to teach them. Kevin working it. He will get the escape. So Kevin will get 1 point. The referee rules, and I think rightly so, that Kevin did not have complete control of Gabe Ware before they both had supporting parts out of bounds, thus giving him an escape for 1 instead of a reversal for 2. So that makes the score 7 for Gabe Ware, 2 for Kevin Wilson. Minute 17 left here in the third period at 160 pounds as we head out of bounds. Head back to the center. Gabe Ware is another one of the 3 wrestlers for Clay Center that has been out for a while. This is their first competition, so you have to work yourself back into shape somewhat. And Gabe Ware does a nice job there, countering the takedown attempt by Wilson to get 2 of his own to take a 9-2 lead. 55 seconds left here in the third period. Yeah, I'd say for the Clay Center 3 that have come back for this duel, this is perfect timing for them. They'll get a few matches in and then get to regionals. That'll benefit them greatly to have some matches under their belt before they get to regionals, as Kevin Wilson gets an escape, as you saw, to make it 9-3. Gabe Ware still leading. Gabe Ware gets a takedown to make it 11-3. That gets us to 8 points. An 8-point lead for Gabe Ware, which which would mean 14 points. Kevin Wilson will do all he can to escape in the final 10 seconds here to get it back down to 7 points.
Warning.
Ware is called for stalling, not returning Wilson to the mat. But the match does end. Gabe Ware from Clay Center wins at 160 pounds by a score of 11-3 over Kevin Wilson from Abilene. 4 more points for Clay Center makes the team score now 32 for Abilene, 8 Clay Center. At 170 pounds, we will have Trey Bender, a 15-12 sophomore for Abilene, against Ryan Tears, another one of the talented freshmen for Clay Center.
Ryan is a freshman and Trey is a sophomore.
So as we're getting up into the upper middleweights, it's fairly uncommon to have 2 underclassmen like this going at it, but we have that situation here, and Trey Bender does a nice job spinning around to get 2 for the takedown, to take a 2-0 lead with 1:21 left in this first period. Trey Bender having another nice season for Abilene. Doing a nice job on top here. Staying in control. Ryan Tears from Clay Center. Keeping his base, doing all he can to keep his base, doing a good job of that. Working to get his hips out. Ryan Tears did, but Trey Bender from Abilene does a nice job of recovering. As I mentioned, upper middleweights here, we have a freshman versus a sophomore. As you get to the upper weights, you tend to have more upperclassmen. But both these teams have some young talent, and they actually have plenty of young talent in the upper weights, which bodes well for the future of both squads in those upper weights. They head out of bounds, come back to the center. 18 seconds left here in the first period at 170 pounds. And the first period will end with Trey Bender from Abilene leading 2-0 over Ryan Tears from Clay Center. Okay, Ryan Tears from Clay Center will choose the bottom position. Trey will elect to
Trey will release him, making it 2-1.
let him up and makes it 2-1. Trey Bender leading. Trey does do a nice job on his feet, so that's not a big surprise to me to have him let somebody up. Oh, Trey in on a shot, but goes flat. Now he recovers, gets back to his feet. Nice job by both wrestlers. As I mentioned, for Clay Center, 10 of the 14 weight classes are being handled by underclassmen, 7 freshmen, 3 sophomores. So they look to have a bright future there. With a great coaching staff like they have, I see great things in their future. 43 seconds left here in the second period. The score is still Trey Bender for Abilene 2, Ryan Tiers, Clay Center 1. Trey Bender working in a front headlock position. Actually changes over and looking for the fall and does secure the fall with 15 seconds left in the second period.
Next match at 182 pounds.
Those 6 points for Abilene brings the team score to 38 for Abilene, Clay Center 8. Zeb in on a shot, and Jaron Christensen from Abilene does a nice job of countering. These two did wrestle earlier in the year at the Beloit tournament, with Zeb Bloom from Clay Center winning by a score of 12-7. Zeb comes in on a shot. Jaron Christensen counters. Christensen looking to spin around and get the two, and he does. Christensen from Abilene takes a 2-0 lead. 1 minute left here in the first period. Bloom pops up in the stand-up, but they head out of bounds. Right off the whistle, Bloom pops up. Nice job by him. And he is given one for escape there, so 2-1 is our score. Christensen from Abilene leading. 51 seconds left here in the first period. I tell you, Coach really liked to see what Zeb Bloom just did. Right off the whistle, exploding. Christensen in on an attack and secures the takedown. So Christensen taking a 4-1 lead, and an escape by Bloom makes it 4-2. 27 seconds left here in the first period. Winding down the first period. 4 seconds left. This period ends. Jaron Christensen leads Zeb Bloom by a score of 4-2. We're at 182 pounds. Abilene Clay Center duel. Zeb Bloom chooses the bottom position. See if he does that nice explosion again. Let's see. Jaron Christensen from Abilene being warned or cautioned. It's a caution when you're in the referee's position. He must have moved or flinched. Bloom escapes quickly. Nice job once again. That explosion. As a coach, you just love to see that. Key is to explode off the whistle and not give the top wrestler a chance to get a good hold on you. Bloom does a nice job, gets the takedown. Christensen pops up, working the hands, trying to get his hips free as they head out of bounds. Zeb Bloom now leading the match by a score of 5-4. Minute 20 left here in the second period. Christensen up in his stand-up. Working to get his hips free. Can't quite get him free. We head out of bounds. Minute 10 left in the second period. Christensen working to control that inside leg of Bloom's and get his hips down and step over, but Bloom at the same time, he's holding on. And he does get his hips up. That was the key there for Bloom, was to get his hips up. He's able to do that. 35 seconds left here in the second period at 182 pounds. Both coaching staffs really encouraging their wrestlers, giving great instruction. Oh, Bloom drops his hips. You never want to do that. Oh, Christensen secures the fall. And that's how it happens sometimes in wrestling, just like that. It can turn so quickly. So Jaron Christensen from Abilene comes from behind, secures the fall to make the current score 44-8, Abilene in the lead. Clay Center is actually open at 195 pounds, where Blaze Lehman will go out and get the 6 points to make it 50 for Abilene, 8 for Clay Center. And coming up at 220 pounds,
Next match at 220 pounds, Clay Center
we have Evan Stendlia from Clay Center, a sophomore. Abilene will be open. So there's 6 points for Clay Center. That brings the team score to 50-14, Abilene in the lead. As we head to the final match of the night, 285 pounds, we have John Ludwig, a freshman from Clay Center, against Andy Tope, a sophomore from Abilene. Once again, typically upperclassmen here, but not in this case. We have freshman versus sophomore, and actually the Abilene wrestler, Andy Tope, it is his first year of wrestling. Doing a really nice job of covering that spot for Abilene. And John Ludwig, I might mention, is up a weight class. Typically a 220-pounder for Clay Center. Moving up to help out the Tigers. Tope, oh, nice half Nelson by Andy Tope. As Andy looks to secure the fall, and does. 47 seconds into the first period, Andy Tope secures the fall for Abilene. That brings our final score for the duel, 56 for Abilene, 14 for Clay Center. And that does secure at least a share of the league title for Abilene. Nice accomplishment for them, as we have the traditional shaking of the hands in the center of the mat.
And a safe and happy trails home.
Show of sportsmanship by both teams. So I'll go over the matches of the evening, starting at 106 pounds. We had Logan McDowell from Abilene winning by a fall over Luke Martin. At 113 pounds, we had Hunter Kaiser from Abilene winning a 12-3 major decision over Jake Wynn from Clay Center. At 120 pounds, we had Zane Ball from Abilene winning by a fall over Marty Robinson. At 126 pounds, we had Kaysen Smith from Abilene winning by fall over Tristan Metters. At 132 pounds, probably the most exciting match of the evening. It took overtime, but Dawson Whiteley, freshman from Abilene, was able to win in overtime by a score of 13-11 over Hunter Mullen, another freshman from Clay Center. At 138 pounds, we had Blake Nguano winning by fall over Adam Ebert from Clay Center. At that point, the team score was 29-0. Seth Strauss from Abilene kept it going with a decision over Grady Ware, brings the team score to 32-0. Clay Center gets on the board at 152 pounds with Thomas Rickley winning by a 12-1 decision over Reuben Hyde, making the team score 32 for Abilene, 4 for Clay Center at that point. 160 pounds, we had Gabe Ware winning over Kevin Wilson from Abilene. Team score 32-8, that was a major decision. At 170 pounds, we had Trey Bender from Abilene winning by a fall over Ryan Tears from Clay Center. At 182 pounds, we had Jaron Christensen winning an exciting come from behind fashion by fall over Zeb Bloom from Clay Center. At that point, the team score would be 44-8. Heading into 195 pounds, where Clay Center was open, so Blaze Lehman takes the forfeit to make the team score 50-8, Abilene's favor. At 220 pounds, Evan Standlia from Clay Center takes the forfeit, with Abilene being open to make the team score 50-14, Abilene's favor. And Andy Tope finishes it off for Abilene with a fall over John Ludwig to make the final team score 56 for Abilene, 14 for Clay Center. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you at a duel later this season, or maybe you can make it out to Colby to watch both these teams at the regional wrestling tournament in a few weeks. From Abilene High School Gym, Curtis Ryan signing off.